Hey guys, it's Fishing and PNW here. I just wanted to share a quick tip with you that will help you guys preserve the life of your baits. And what I like to do is when I go fishing with me, I carry a little plastic Tupperware with me. And what that allows me to do is to, keep my tackle organized when I'm retying. And it helps me to actually save the baits. So throughout the day, as you're trying to figure out a pattern, you're constantly switching out lures. One thing that you don't want to do is, untie like a crankbait, a swim bait, or a spinnerbait and just toss it in your tackle box that you took it out of. And the reason you want to do that is because you don't want that moisture to get trapped in your tackle box, and that will end up rusting out your lures. And one place where it helps a lot is, you might not think to do this all the time, but when you're done fishing a jig, water will actually get trapped in the plastic. And what that actually does is it'll start rusting out your hook shank. So this is a little Arca jig that I like to fish a lot. You might not be able to tell in this video, but the hook shank, it's very rusted. And that's from leaving the trailer on there after I'm done fishing. And the moisture that's trapped inside the plastic, it doesn't dry out very fast. So it sits there for a while and then starts eating away at your hook. And if I was just to toss this in my jig box, that moisture would spread to my other jigs and it would actually start to rust out my hooks and the line ties as well. So you don't want to just throw back a wet lure back in your tackle box. It's a bad idea. And the other good thing about this is this head's a little bit beat up, the paint's chipped away, I've sharpened it multiple times, but once it dries you can sharpen the head black again and it'll look good as new. You can fish it for another day. And where the hook comes out of your trailer, your baits, as you get bit, they get tore up a bit. So if you just buy like a little bottle of Mend It, you can fix up these plastics in the trailer so that they're good as new and you can use them again. So that will help you save money on your jigs and your plastics. And for baits like swim baits, spinner baits, crankbaits, anything that has any sort of hardware on them like split rings and trebles, you definitely don't want to just mix these in. And the same reason again is for rust. So I've had baits like this where I just threw them back in the box and then I just let them sit there all week, and what happens is not only does the bait that you fished start to get a little bit of rust on it, that spreads to your other baits. And the same concept with the jig. You want to take your spinnerbait trailers off, because if you do that they won't get rusted. So this particular spinnerbait I've done this with, so there is zero rust on that hook shank. And that's because I set it aside, and once I get home I take off the trailer and I let everything dry out. So again, the spinnerbait looks like the day I got it, just brand new, there's no rust, unlike that Arca jig. And if you really wanted to, you can just add a dab of Mend It to the tip here and a dab of Mend It to where the hook point came out, and then you can reuse that trailer. So that's just a quick tip. I hope it helps you guys, hope it helps you save money. And it's just a little bit of effort, but in the long run, it'll benefit you greatly. So not only will you preserve the lure that you've been fishing, but you'll preserve the lures in your tackle box. And the other good thing about the tub is it kind of helps you stay organized especially if you have a small boat like me. I have a 9-foot Livingston and a 10-foot Columbian. There's not a whole lot of room there. So as your baits get torn, like if you're fishing a Senko and it starts to get torn, and you take it off, you put on a new one, you can just toss it in here. That way you don't have plastics all over your boat or your tackle box, and then when you get home, again, you can just fix them up as Mend It and fish it again. So this little, any sort of little clear Tupperware that'll fit your baits in there, if you have it on the boat, it's always a good idea. It'll keep everything that you have fished and taken off, it'll keep them all in one centralized location. And then when you get home, you can dry it out and you can put it away in the whatever tackle boxes that they came out of. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think, and if you have any other tips, feel free to share them with me. Have a good one.